Hey there guys, Erica here from Highway 49RC. Thank you so much to my patrons and channel members for supporting me the way you do. You guys make these videos possible. So today, we are getting back on the Javelin build, you guys. This is a Kyosho Javelin that I picked up. The main reason I got it is because it is chain driven. Yeah! Last episode, we completed the chain drive system, the front diff case, and the rear gearbox. We got all put together, we got the chain in there, and it's really cool. It is really, really slick. Today is all about the chassis. We're going to kind of jump around in the instruction manual because the chassis assembly is kind of spread out throughout the whole manual, so we're going to be building it my way, not the manual's way. Is that going to work? Probably not, but we're about to find out. So let's jump right into it. So we're starting off with step 7 here. This is part of the bumper. It needs this square block bolted to it. That uses M2.6 screws, which I don't understand why they couldn't just use M3s. And then this motor plate needs this crossbar bolted to it, and this little bar on the opposite side with a clip. And I have already done that just for simplicity's sake, because it's kind of an easy step. So I've got my square bar on the bumper piece, and my cross member, and the little sticky outy bit with the pin. Since there's just so much going on in step 8 here, let's start with just this rail and the motor plate. So those just need to get bolted together with 2 screws right there and there. And we got to make sure that this hole on the rail is on the inside. So let's go ahead and start with that. Okay, I've got this rail bolted to the motor plate. Now it's time to do the other half with this rail and this chassis plate. So same thing, got to make note of this little hole there, make sure it's on the inside. And we'll bolt that chassis plate on just like that. And of course put a little Loctite on the screws since we're going into aluminum. Now that we've got our 2 rail halves ready to go, we can grab our chain drive assembly here and start to make the sandwich. So I'm going to start with these 2 bolts going through there. We're going to need these guys. There's 2 of them. And they go, let's see, angled inward. So I need this one. Wait, yeah. I'm going to put that on my screws. Then put that through the transmission case. Grab the other plastic wing looking thing. It's going to seem like these screws are not long enough, but in fact they are. They're only designed to thread into the other plate a tiny, tiny bit. So now I can put the other 2 in the bottom here. Like that. Gorgeous. There are our 2 rails put together and our 2 chassis plates on the back end of our drivetrain unit. I want to note that I just realized that this screw needs to actually be a button head. I'm not sure why. It seems kind of silly. I'm going to throw a screw in here for this cross member. And then we'll come to the back of these chassis plates. And we're going to add this bumper piece on. With our motor guard on, everything Loctited where it needs to be, and our chassis plates and rails assembled, let's move on to the next step. Now we get to crack open bag C, which is here for all of our hardware. We're going to need this bumper piece right here. We're going to need this guy, which is going to attach to the bumper like that, as it shows there. With this little groove needs to go down though, based on the picture. And then we also need this chassis brace that's going to go between the 2 chain guides. So I got my little plastic bit on the front bumper, and this guy is going to go right here. Got the front bumper on. I used some countersunk washers just there. Now we're going to grab this cross member support piece, and that is going to go underneath the top rail and snap into the bottom rail, supposedly. There we go. Okay. So there's a little clip right here that clips onto the bottom chain guard. And then to secure it, grab 2 of these cap head screws and they'll go in there and in there. Next up, looks like we're going to be putting together a servo saver and a bell crank. The servo saver, as a matter of fact, is already put together for us, which is quite nice of them. Here's the other bell crank, which, yep, that looks like the picture. So we need 2 of these little ball studs and then 2 of these little silver aluminum ball nuts, I guess? I'm not sure what else you would call them. Those sit inside little hexagonal recesses in the bell cranks. And then the ball stud with a little bit of Loctite will get threaded into the bottom just like that. And then same thing on this guy. Put that little silver ball nut in the bell crank and thread the ball stud up into the bottom of it with Loctite. I will go Loctite them, don't worry. Then we're going to grab this little connecting link, pop it onto the little ball nuts on both of them like that. We'll grab these guys. One of them, the longer one, goes in the servo saver side, the shorter one goes in the individual bell crank. Then this assembly is going to go on the rest of our build on top of this metal plate. So that's going to go just there. And this whole thing gets slipped underneath like that. Then 2 of these countersunk screws and countersunk washers will hold the bell cranks to the chassis rails. With the bell crank and servo saver assembly completed, we can move on to our next step here, which is going to be installing these 2 side plates. So here's one of them. That's going to go just there. And then we need the left side little, I think this is a control arm mount or a turnbuckle mount. And that's going to go right there. There's 2 different lengths of screws. There's a long one that goes in the front hole and a short one that goes in the back. And then there is this funky type of screw. I don't really understand why it's like this, but we got this funky type of screw. Then that's going to go with a washer in the back hole there. I've got my front frame plates all bolted up, looking very nice. This whole thing is starting to feel really solid, which is great. We're going to move on to step 13 now, and looks like assemble the slipper clutch gear. So I'm going to grab my top shaft, put 1 slipper plate on, put a slipper pad, and then grab this gear, slide that on, and grab another slipper pad, and another slipper plate. And then we need a bushing, like that. So that's our slipper clutch. And now if we grab the rear of the vehicle here, this is going to go through that gear in the transmission. It's going to go through that gear in the transmission, just like that. And then we're going to grab this little bushing, and the side of the larger step right there is going to go facing the transmission, and then put our big old slipper clutch spring on there, and finally our slipper clutch nut. And it only wants us to tighten that down to the face of the top shaft, so I will follow their guidelines and only do it up that far. That should be good. Now we've got another gear added to our drivetrain. Pretty freaking sweet. While we're doing a little bit of transmission and drivetrain work here, I'm going to go ahead and skip up to step 31, where we're going to need this plastic gear, this interesting metal gear with a groove in it, a clip, and a couple bearings that I've yet to pull out of bag F, which is where the rest of these parts are coming from, and the blister packs for the gears. So what we're going to do is put these 2 little bearings in this gear with the groove in it, like that. And then this is going to go into the plastic gear. So the gear is a bit conical, so it's cupped this way. And we're going to put the gear in from the inside of the cup. That's a really tight fit. Wow, that's nice. Okay. And then we put this little metal snap ring into that groove to hold it in place. Oh, I think I got it. Hey, I got it. Very nice, very nice, very nice. And then this gear assembly in step 32 goes onto this shaft right here and meshes with the other gear that we just put on. I'm gonna go ahead and give the metal gears a little bit of grease. Not a lot, just a little bit. Perfect. Alright, then it wants a little itty bitty black O-ring to go on the end of this shaft. And then the gear cover is supposed to go on, but before we put the gear cover on, there is actually a foam gasket that they give you that we need to stick on to the cover. And voila! The rest of our drivetrain is pretty much done. Obviously, we'll have to take that back off to get our motor and pinion installed, but we're going to deal with that later since we are going to skip back to step 22 here and work on the top deck. Here's the top deck with a few different pieces that I've already put on it. There's this little greebly, no clue what that's for. Got a couple battery strap anchor plates, I guess you could call them, and they have some nice little foam pieces on the bottom of them. And then there's this roll bar, I guess you could call it, that bolts onto the back. Then to attach the top deck, there are 4 of these little L brackets like this, and there are 2 small ones and 2 large ones. The large ones go in the rear, and each one gets 2 little nylon lock nuts pressed into them, just like so, for screws to then thread into. I've got my 4 L brackets attached there and there, and now I can put the top deck on. Yeah, I guess it just sits right there like that. Awesome. And this little cross plate goes right there. And we've got 2 screws here that go into that center support. 2 screws just here for the upper chain guide. And there are 2 more screws that need these funky washers on them. And this is the correct way that they're supposed to go based on the instructions. They want the flange on top like that, or down, or they want it like that. Okay, just trust me on that one. And those go in here. With all that said and done, I think this is probably a great place to call today's episode, guys. This is looking super awesome. It's incredibly rigid. I'm very, very impressed, I gotta say. And the drivetrain, of course, as always, is super cool. Alright, I am super happy with our progress that we made today, guys. This is looking really sweet so far. I'm so happy with the build quality of this kit. I'm really, really impressed. I was not expecting this level of quality out of this kit. I'm not sure why, but it is phenomenal. I am extremely, extremely pleased. So, I hope you guys are enjoying the build so far. Thank you so much to RC and More for their support during the live stream. And with that, I think I'm going to call this a video. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please do leave a big fat thumbs up if this does happen to be the first video that you have seen by me. Make sure to go down, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment down below. If you want to catch up with me outside of YouTube, head over to my Instagram at Howie49_RC. If you want to chat with fellow RC and full-scale enthusiasts, my Discord is a great place for that. And if you want to support me and the channel, consider becoming a channel member or joining my Patreon. I usually live stream on weekends, Saturdays or Sundays. And that's about it for me, guys. Links are in the description, and I will see y'all in the next one.